Hello guys, how are you? Today on this video you saw me disassemble everything almost without explanation. The reason is because I already did those videos. The video to disassemble the entire suspension of the Alfa 156 is already on my channel. I can leave you the link down below so you to understand how it is disassembled with more precision. And also to disassemble here these 6 screws, these 6 bolts, I already too did a video for that. Now what you want to do is to check if this drive shaft is savable. The drive shaft is composed by 3 parts: the shaft itself and 2 CV joints. On this side we have a CV joint that may be like a tripod or ball bearing. This is 155, this is later 156, and you can also have a mixture of both, because this seems like a ball bearing one, but in fact it can have a tripod setup inside. The way that you want to see the play is to grab on to the CV shaft and just twist it like this, just to feel the play. This one having 22 years, it has a little bit of play, okay? And the outer side one, that one that when you turn really hard starts making that clicking noise, yes, this one has a bit of a play. When we are to replace this boot over here, we have to replace also the CV joint. It's toasted. To continue, I like to clean everything very well, because this is a very messy job and I really don't like it because it is so messy. Now that's better. Now taking this cap over here, I prefer to use a blunt screwdriver like you can see over here, and push this out all the way to have a permanent connection. And now you can see, very easy. If it is a very sharp screwdriver, you can tear the cap over here. So as I told you earlier, we have a mixture of both technologies. We have a tripod on the inside, but we have an outer carcass, very strong carcass, like the earlier models. So in order to take out the boot itself, we have to remove the tripod. To do so, normally we have a C-clip that we take out and push out this tripod. But on this case, in several cases, this is pressed in. And I don't have a press. Oh my god. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes we have to take out the stuff from the other way around. What I will normally do on the workshop, but I don't have any spare parts in here, is to remove this CV joint and do the job through the shaft over here. That works really well, but I have to manage not to damage these clamps over here for my dog. Let's see. At least I'm trying, okay? So what I like to do is try to open the clamp without damaging it. Just try to take out the force on it, on both sides, maybe with a smaller screwdriver, but I don't want to damage the boot. This one is good. This one almost there. After some cleanup, I really hate this job. I'm sorry about that. It's very messy. It's one of the few jobs that I don't like to do on any car. Inside here you have this, I call it a spider gear maybe. You have this flat spot, you have this one, you have that one, and you have a false one. And on that false one you have a C-clip on the inside. Very few people know this and they just hammer on this and they cannot take this out. To take that C-clip off, I don't have it here, but on my workshop I have a special pliers that I open it, just tap it, it comes right off. I don't have that here, so bear with me with my screwdrivers and whatnot to try to remove this CV joint, okay? Removing this CV joint, I can remove this, and then I can remove the other boot, okay? This is a big mess, right? Why do I have so many boots on top of my bench? Like you may know, I have new old stock that I bought to sell and to keep some stuff for me, and I'm trying to see if any is of some use for me. So this is from my 155, This is from my sedan 156, and as you can see, they are different in shape, the inner shape. So I was hoping, when disassemble my 156, that my stock boots will, now on my 155, obviously it will not work because it's too small. And I was hoping on my 156, I don't know, really know why I was hoping, but it seems to be closer, but no, I have to sell these two ones. This one may work because it is almost the size, but there's a difference. The difference is the inner part of this boot is flat, as you can see. I don't know, I hope you can see. And this groove is over here is not flat. Unlike my 155 one that is flat over here, this one is not. So what you need is a boot that has a groove on the inside, a roundness on the inside, to be able to fit, no problem, onto the, onto the CV joint. As you can see, it is a perfect fit. Now, my parts guy was not able to find a boot that is for this shaft. That being said, this boot is in here. In fact, this boot is for a Volkswagen product. I'll leave you the part number down on the description, and it will work on this assembly. And why is that? The factory that does this drive shaft, and for Volkswagen and for so many other makes and models, GKN parts, so Lobro. It's normal that you can find a part that goes to other drive shafts. So in here we have a perfect fit over here on this part, and in here it does not use a clamp to do so. It just uses force. I'm a little bit off by that, but my parts guy assured me I already did supplied several boots for this application and it will work. So if he says so, I'm confident it will work. Now, just a quick tip here on the clamp itself. As I am putting the clamp, I like to face it towards the driving motion of the drive shaft. If this CV joint spins like this, I like to put the tail of the clamp to this side. If it happens to catch on anything, it will not open the clamp. If it spins this way, if it catches on anything, it will take out the clamp. Do this on every car, on both sides of the car, being four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, whatever, and you will have so much more peace of mind. This is a very simple trick that can really save your day. Another thing that you have to concern is when you are putting the bolts over here, make sure that they don't coincide. Let me just do this right here. They don't coincide with the heads of the screws, of the bolts, because if you have to do this, now you don't have space to take out the bolt. Even though if you really don't need it, but don't like that. So put this on the middle. You can use the pair of pliers to do this engagement. I don't have those, so I have another tip for you. So first of all, you want to see if this fitment over here is as tight as possible. And sometimes it's really not easy, but take your time, okay, to see if you can put it on the next step. I can at least one, and maybe that's enough. Maybe. If I can try. Now it comes the hard part. I have a new pair of cutters and the old one. And this old one is already a little bit blunt, and that is exactly what we need. Because I will do this with a cutting tool. I already did a bunch of them when I worked in my parents' house after hours, and it works, believe me. So what you want to do is to just squeeze it, okay? Gently. It can be a bit crooked, but it's not bad at all. So now put in, don't forget your way of the clamp, okay? The boot, this boot is really sketchy. And now you can put your CV joint. Normally having this step over here, this cone shape form, It allows you to just push in your CV joint. Sometimes you have to open there the clip or replace it. If you replace it, it will go smooth as butter. But if it is old like this, very old, it will give you a headache. It went all the way to the groove, and now I'm testing to see if it is really on the groove. It is all okay. Now just grease it up, put the clamps on, and assemble on the car. Even without putting the clamps, I'm trying to find if the boot is on the right place, because sometimes on this side, for example, the boots from factory come too squeezed up and they rub together and rupture. From the factory, there is a service news. The service news, I think you understand, that is a classified document that informs the workers of the dealerships that we have to make the well, it's a gray area, okay? We have to stretch up the boot to an area where it does not do that rubbing together. So in this case, for example, the boot was in here, okay? It will rub together. It will be awful. So if I do so, it will go to a more comfortable position. And when driving the car, the boot will not tear up so fast. I am tempted to call this a success nonetheless, okay? But the video, I think I can call it a total drive shaft rebuild, because if I replace, well, the procedure is the same, okay? To replace the CV joint on this side is like this. To replace the boot on this side, take out the tripod, yes, I need a press, on this case of this transmission. In Portugal we call this a transmission. It is a transmission shaft, okay? Yes, I can call this a rebuild, but it's just a boot replacement, okay? So yes, on my SW I will have to do exactly this, but all the way. I have to take out the tripod, is worn out. I have to see if the sleeve is good for the tripod. I have to replace the CV joint on this side, both of the boots. This one is good, but okay, I will, on my car, my SW is good, but I will replace it anyway to do a video for a transmission shaft rebuild. To do this job, do it slow, okay? It is a very, very, very annoying job. Yes, it is. I don't like to do this, but I have to do it every day, so I learn to like this kinds of job. I have my glove like this. It is the second one. My phone and camera and microphone is all covered in this black grease. It has to be black for this application. It has graphite on it to be able to grab onto the parts better. And take it slow, guys. It can be very frustrating really to do this job, but at the end is really satisfying to have a perfect functional part that you yourself rebuild. Okay, so to assemble all this, I already did videos that can help you to do so. I will not repeat myself. I hope it's not a problem for you guys. Down on the description, I have the links for the videos that you need to do the assembly. In here, just put that in place. It put the nuts on, no problems with that, I believe. And then everything is on the, including this, is on the video description below. The drive shafts I did on my Alfa, not my colleague's Alfa 166. This one, the assembly of the suspension, I did on my Alfa 156 SW. It is exactly the same stuff. Don't forget the tuning, the adjustment of the shock absorber itself on the fork. That is very important, okay? And next I will do a quick tip, not on this video, it's very long now, how to replace and why your gearbox oil. 2 years or 60,000 kilometers is my recommendation. The brand, I don't care, okay? But I care about the viscosity of it and if it is or not synthetic or mineral. These cars use synthetic gearbox oil. How can you tell? It cannot smell bad when it is new. So, do you smell? Not smell. Does not smell bad, okay? Thank you so much for watching my channel. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!